Go.
My name's Dave Miley. I'm Director of Development for the International Tennis Federation. So basically my job is to assist the 200 member nations of the ITF to develop tennis, more players and better players. And a big part of our program has been the Play and Stay campaign, which is trying to position tennis easy, fun and healthy. And also part of that has been the rule change for 10 and under, where we've made it that you cannot use from January of this year the yellow ball for 10 and under competition.
So, just a quick question on, what do you think the impact is going to be on a lot of the changes now with 10 and under in the States?
Well, I think that there's no doubt it's going to position tennis as easy and fun, because I think all of the research we have is that the kids with the 75, 50% and 25% slower balls makes it easier for people to play. So kids will be able to get to where they can serve, rally and score, play the game a lot quicker. I think in the past tennis was taught a little bit like the piano. Do the scales, it's kind of boring, but in 6 months' time you get to play the piano, play some music. Well, that's the way tennis was, do the boring kind of technical drills and eventually you get to play the game. And I think today kids need to get success earlier, and I think the use of the red, orange, green balls is going to make it easier for people to play and get to the stage where they can actually play the game without a coach, where they can play with their friends, a bit like soccer, where you see kids kicking around a soccer ball. I'd love to feel in the future that kids will be able to, with their friends, hit around a tennis ball in an informal setting.
Awesome. And lastly, what in terms,
can we talk about the performance side?
Yeah, exactly. The performance angle. A lot of people talk about. Maybe you can just comment.
I think a lot of people talk about the participation benefits. I think everybody agrees the participation benefits are very good. You get more people playing, and already the figures in countries like Belgium and France and Great Britain have shown that the number of kids competing at the 10 and under have gone up incredibly. I think the LTA in Britain went up from 12,000 to 50,000 in the last 5 years since they implemented the rule change. So definitely more people playing. What we're seeing in countries like France, Belgium, Great Britain, they actually brought in a mandate before the ITF. They brought it in 5-6 years ago, and their performance coaches think it's the best thing, one of the best things they ever did. The parents have accepted it, the fact that for 10 and under they're going to use one of the red, orange, green balls. And some of the research that's been conducted recently, there was a very interesting research done in Australia where they got their best 10 and under players to play tournament matches using the green ball, and then the same players to play a lot of tournament matches using the yellow ball. And what the research found was that basically the players hit the ball down the middle more with the yellow ball. The tempo was less, meaning it took longer for the ball to go back and forth from the courts. The players came in and volleyed less, and also their court position, they were much further back behind the baseline. So the research that shows, I think, the effect at the high performances, I think we're going to get more all-round players who can actually implement tactics, advanced tactics such as approach and pass, which they couldn't do with a yellow ball unless the coach was feeding the balls. So what I see a lot now with the players when they're practicing without the coach, they actually can come into the net, they can approach, they can pass, they can actually do more with their serve, they can actually attack their serve, whereas with the yellow ball, it was difficult to do that. There's a very interesting thing, I think, that people think that green ball tennis and orange ball tennis is easier from a performance point of view than the yellow ball. I would argue that actually playing with the yellow ball is in a way easier. Why? Because you can actually lob the ball and win the points. You can actually win the points more easily with the yellow ball, whereas with the orange ball and the green ball you have to work the point, you have to move the player around, you have to exploit the weakness, you have to come in, maybe play more shots. So you could argue that orange and green tennis is more tough, more difficult than tennis with the yellow ball.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, no worries. Awesome. I hope that was helpful.
That was very good.